They kill more humans every year than lions, leopards, and crocodiles combined. Not sharks, not snakes. A gray, slow-looking animal that spends most of its day floating in a river like it's harmless. It isn't. This is the story of why the hippopotamus, the animal children draw in cartoons, is quietly Africa's deadliest large mammal. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at a riverbank the same way again. Hippos look heavy, clumsy, built for floating, not fighting. That's the trap. A hippo can weigh up to 3,000 kilograms, as much as 2 small cars stacked together. Logic says something that big should be slow. And in water, it almost glides, using the riverbed to push off like a ballet dancer underwater, barely disturbing the surface. But on land, that same clumsy body can hit speeds close to 30 kilometers per hour over short bursts. That's faster than most humans will ever run in their life. A hippo doesn't need to chase you far. It only needs 3 or 4 seconds to close a gap that looked completely safe. There was a problem with how we've always seen this animal. We judged it by how it looks resting, not by what it does when threatened. This proved that in nature, the most dangerous predators aren't always the ones that look dangerous. Sometimes they're the ones we've stopped paying attention to. Here's what makes hippos genuinely strange. They don't eat meat. They graze on grass, up to 35 kilograms of it a night. By every definition, they should be low on the danger scale, but evolution gave them a weapon anyway. Their canine teeth, the long curved tusks at the front of the mouth, can grow past 50 centimeters, and their bite force has been measured at close to 8,000 newtons. A lion's bite, by comparison, sits around 4,500 newtons. An animal that eats nothing but plants can bite down with almost double the force of Africa's most feared predator. That jaw isn't for feeding, it's for war. Male hippos fight rival males for control of territory. And those battles are brutal enough to leave permanent scars, sometimes ending in death for the loser. In 2020, a boat capsized on the Kwando River in Namibia after a hippo attacked it directly, and witnesses described the jaw closing over the hull like it was made of paper. However, here's the twist most people miss. Hippos don't need to be provoked the way we assume. They don't attack because they're hungry, or cornered, or in pain. They attack because of one instinct that overrides everything else, and it has nothing to do with food. Hippos spend up to 16 hours a day submerged, and in that time, the river becomes their kingdom. Every stretch of water is claimed territory, marked and defended by a dominant male, patrolled with a level of aggression most people don't associate with a gentle giant. Boats, swimmers, fishermen, anything that crosses that invisible boundary is treated as an invasion, not an accident. This is why so many attacks happen on water, not land. Fishermen paddling quietly in dugout canoes, tourists leaning out of a boat for a photo. To us, it's just a river. To a territorial male, it's a threat that needs to be eliminated before it gets any closer. But there's something even more dangerous hiding beneath this territorial instinct, something that turns an already aggressive animal into one of the most unpredictable creatures on the continent. A mother hippo with a newborn calf becomes almost a different animal entirely. Calves are born underwater and have to be protected from crocodiles, lions, and even rival hippos from the moment they take their first breath. This puts every mother into a permanent state of high alert that can last for months. Local guides across Zambia, Botswana, and Uganda repeat the same warning to every tourist. Never position yourself between a hippo and open water. And never, under any circumstance, get between a mother and her calf. That single mistake is behind a disproportionate number of fatal encounters recorded every year. And the most dangerous version of this threat doesn't even happen where you'd expect it in the river. It happens on dry land, after dark, when nobody's watching for it. When the sun goes down, hippos leave the water. They can travel up to 10 kilometers inland during the night, following the same paths for generations, grazing silently on grasslands and sometimes walking directly through villages built near riverbanks. This is where most fatal encounters actually happen, not during a dramatic chase through water, but in near total darkness, when a hippo returning home finds a person accidentally standing on its path. A 1,500 kilogram animal moving at full speed in the dark gives almost no time to react, and almost no warning before it happens. Communities along the Nile, the Zambezi, and Lake Victoria have learned this the hard way for generations. The hippo isn't hunting these people. It's simply going home, the same way it has every night of its life. But an animal that size doesn't stop to check what's standing in its way. This revealed something uncomfortable. The most dangerous encounters in nature often aren't confrontations at all. They're accidents between two species that were never trying to meet in the first place. Estimates suggest hippos are responsible for around 500 human deaths across Africa every year. Some researchers argue the true number is higher, since many incidents in remote river communities go unreported or unrecorded entirely. Compare that to the animal most people are actually afraid of, the shark. Sharks kill fewer than 10 people globally per year. Or compare it to lions, the animal Africa is famous for. Lion attacks on humans are estimated at around 100 per year continent-wide, a fifth of what hippos are responsible for. That means, statistically, you are far more likely to be killed by an animal calmly chewing grass on a riverbank at sunset than by the ocean's most feared predator, or even the animal we call the king of the jungle. That single fact rewrites everything we think we understand about danger in the animal kingdom. The hippopotamus survives not because it's the strongest predator in Africa, but because it controls the one resource every living creature on the continent needs: water. It doesn't chase. It doesn't hunt. It simply defends what's already its own, with a force capable of ending a boat, a body, or a life in seconds, without warning and without mercy. And maybe that's the real danger we keep underestimating. Not the animals that look like killers. The ones we've decided, without ever checking, are safe. If this changed the way you see the friendly animals of Africa, you'll want to see which one is next, because the most dangerous creature on this continent isn't the one everyone expects.